Hello YouTubers. Well, in this video I have gone and bought myself a chainsaw chain sharpener. It's not an expensive Oregon chain grinder. It's a knockoff or clone or whatever you want to call it. I got this from a local farm supply store that was going out of business about 6 months, 8 months ago. I just haven't gotten around to setting it up or playing with it yet. So as you can see here, I have the base sitting in my vise here. I cut a big piece of heavy 1/4 inch 6x4 angle iron, about a 6-inch wide piece. I drilled 2 holes, tapped it out, and bolted it down here with a couple of 5/16 bolts here. The reason I got it set up in my vise is so that I can take the whole unit and remove it and go put it up on the shelf out of the way when I'm not using it. A lot of people set these up on a workbench somewheres or on a dedicated stand, but I don't have that much room in my shop, and I do not have bench space, as you can probably have already tell here by some of the clutter I've got going on here. So space in my shop is at a premium, so this is the most logical and practical setup for me. Don't know if this is any good. A lot of people say these no-name brand clone or aftermarket ones are total junk, they're not worth your time. Sometimes, yeah, you have to do a little bit of fine-tuning on some of these cheap import tools to get them to work, but I think I can get this one to work just fine, so long as my motor arbor is true. That seems to be something somebody complains about, that some of them are, the motor shaft is loose and your grinding stone will wobble around or have a weird vibration, and then you can't sharpen worth anything. So, but we'll see. Seen one guy going on complaining about his, and then a bunch of other people told him that you got to take a few minutes to set them up right. So don't just assume that these things are going to be 100% out of the box. And sometimes even some of the big name brand ones aren't always. You have to, well, go through them and do some fine tweaking to get them to work right. So, okay, well, I got it all set up more or less. Gave it a little test run here, and it seems to be this issue that people talk about, a wobble in their grindstone, and a lot of these. I checked the arbor. The shaft is true on the motor, and the backing arbor is true, but these aftermarket cheap no-name grinding stones that are manufactured in China seem to be the issue. I've got a 325 chain on here and a 1/8 grinding stone. This one is balanced actually pretty decent. It's got a very tiny little bit of outrun in it, but ever so slight. I tried the, what size is it there, for the 3/8 chain, the 3/16 stone, and that one was just horrible. It literally was just wobbling. You'd start the motor and it was just wobbling all over. It wasn't the arbor that's the issue, it's these stones. And of course, when I started it up and went to touch the chain, this thing literally exploded in all kinds of pieces here. So careful where you buy these grinding stones at, or where you can get them online, like I say, pretty cheap. Probably the best for this would be one of those CBN type or CBA, I don't know, whatever you guys call them. Those metal wheel with a diamond edge on it. I would say that's probably be your best bet for having something running true. I don't think a lot of these chain grinders are the issue per se. Maybe there's the odd one in a batch that has a bad arbor or a funky motor shaft that's not machined right. But I think if they were selling them in mass and they were all faulty, well, nobody would buy it. The word would get around. So fact is, I think these work pretty. This seems to be working pretty well so far. I don't know how much I can get in on this. This chain isn't exactly the best chain. It's a still 23 RS, older RS chain. I've got 50-degree tilt and 25-degree on my angle. Some that say you're supposed to go 30. that gives you an awful lot of angle here back. There's arguments to that. I've never liked chains that were sharpened at that much of an angle. It's past what the manufacturer recommends. I usually always go a little bit more blunt on my my angle in that 25-degree range, and that seems to be where the kind of soft wood that I'm cutting seems to be works fine. If you're cutting really hard dry wood like ash or something, dead ash or something, probably you'd want a little more angle on it. But I'm cutting softwood, so I can have a little more face on my tooth, and seems to. I took my time here. I sharpened half a dozen of these. So far, my result seems to be coming out pretty good. I got the gullet out good right down. Didn't touch the strap here. I just nicked the strap a little bit on one of the other ones, and then set my adjuster up here so I wouldn't dig down in it. But I got the gullet out here pretty good. Got a pretty good bow in it, and it's got a razor sharp. I'm curious to put this on a saw and try it here. This is an old beat up chain. It's not a chain that of mine. It's somebody else's hand filing. They left all the gullet in it, and they're kind of going at an upward angle, crawling out of the crawling up over the or out of the gullet or the tooth, just catching the top edge of the just catching the top edge of the top plate here with their file a little bit here, so kind of ski jumping their way out of the tooth, as some would say. So I'll work my way around this chain, and I'll give it a go. Mostly what I want to do is just bring these chains up. That saves me so much hand filing. Get all the rough, ugly, knocked off edges cleaned up on them, and then I'll, from going forward from there on, if I don't like how this works, I'll just do my hand filing as usual. The reason that like I say, I kind of always liked the idea of a grinder was to speed up the process of cleaning up these chains that I always seem to get everybody else's leftovers. They're a lot of times have 90% of the tooth, and people use them once or twice, can't sharpen, and then they just change them out and go to a new chain all the time. Well, that gets to be expensive, but I've filed them out for years and use, you know, I buy boxes of chains literally from dealers that customers bring in to want chains changed out or sharpened, but the dealer won't take the time to do it, so they just customer abandons a whole pile of chains, and sometimes I've literally gotten half a big cardboard box full of chains. So it's kept me in chains for years, but it's a lot of hand filing. So if I can use a grinder to speed up the process, well, it'll like I say, the initial first sharpening to bring them back around. Key point is here not to rush, because if you lay in it and grind too hard, you're going to blue the tooth and burn it, and then you'll get hard spots and you won't be able to hand file. You just tickle them ever so slight and keep working them, and if you have to, just tickle a little bit on them and then skip to the next one and come back around and give it a second shot. But from here on out, I gotta find a better source of this is just a couple of wheels that came with the grinder, and they're cheap like I say. Well, you gotta be careful what you buy online, unless it's a name brand grinding wheel. Then well, they're just that, they're pretty cheap quality. So another thing is, a lot of them, they have these weird paper labels glued on them here. A lot of times I noticed I went and peeled the paper label off this one before I put it on, and it seemed to make a big difference in stopping the wheel from wobbling around, because you don't have that well, if that glue under the paper is different thicknesses, it's going to affect your wheel where it sits on the arbor, and then it'll have it sitting off kilter, and then you'll get a wobble. So a lot of things to consider. Am I sorry that I bought this thing? No, it's already here from what preliminary what I've done here a little bit. It's I like what I see. It does a pretty good job. Like I say, it brings the chain back around pretty quick. Don't have to fight with it so much. And for what I paid for this stupid thing, that farm store was closing down, and they were literally just liquidating all their stock at fire sale prices. The last couple weeks here when I picked it up, some of the stuff was down to 80% off, and the last few days was 90% off. I didn't quite get that off on this one, but I think it was for like 1/4 of what they normally sold for. And then this one's actually a pretty decent knockoff of the Oregon one, so I think I got my value out of this one, even if it only lasts me a couple seasons of doing a bunch of these nasty old chains. But anyways, I'd like to say thanks everybody for stopping by and checking out this video. If you don't mind, go ahead and like, subscribe. Anyways, thanks everybody, and we'll see you all on the next one.